Hello, Tactical Devils. Welcome to tonight's show. You'll all notice that Jarvis is still away. He's back on Monday. I think he gets back tomorrow night. He's back on Monday. So you've got myself and Mark to do the review with you. We have a win. Can you believe it? There's loads to talk about. A lot of contentious decisions today. I'll be interested to get Mark's opinion on the refereeing and also everyone in the comments. Please support Jarvis's channel while he's not here. So please like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family to come along and join the chat. So without further ado, I'll play the intro and we will be with you straight after. Hello, and welcome to Tactical Devils. Do not change the channel. Myself and Mark are sitting in for Jarvis today. Jarvis is away on a business trip, as you all know. Getting hammered, actually, I think he's gone to Mallorca, but he will be back on Monday night for Jarvis's Corner. I'm going to bring in Mark to the stage. Mark, how are you? You're on mute.
I'm not. See, I didn't speak before I took it off mute. I'm good. United won a game, which is great. We got a new striker, OG. I don't know what country he's from, but
yes. We do.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to breaking this down and having a bit of rant about referees, because that's going to be a subject for the first 3 games of the season, isn't it?
Isn't it just? First of all, welcome as always to the Devilish Tacticos. There's loads of you in the chat already. Thank you very, very much for supporting Jarvis. This is great. Mark has been suffering from a bit of a migraine, so he might not be on top form tonight, gentlemen. So show him some love as well. Good to see you, Nathan, in the chat. I'm Titanium is. Catherine, no nonsense McDade, still here. DJ Superfly guy, thank you very much. Danny B's in. Jorge is in. Sebastian. Adam Partridge is in as well. Can you believe it? We finally got a victory and we scored in open play. Mr. Wimbumo, I'll get your thoughts on the game in just a moment. I understand he was outstanding today, which is great. But I do want to start with our new striker, Mr. OG. Seems to have been around the last couple of weeks, come from nowhere, free transfer by the looks of it. But Mark, what is happening with our newfound striker? Where's he come from? What was our biggest problem today? Did you find? In the opening exchanges?
Well, OG has just got the knack of being in the right place at the right time. Simple as that. But in general, I'm getting so frustrated with not having a striker on the pitch. I don't think that's going to be a problem now. Unfortunately, we'll get into it later. But Cunha's picked up what looks like a 5 strain. But yeah, what's it? Another 20 plus shots. I think 26 shots this game.
Yeah,
and 6 on target.
I know.
So that this isn't good. Sounds great when you read it on a piece of paper. Sounds great, but this own goal was unreal. I mean, I feel sorry for the goalkeeper, because what an attempt and a save it was. Try and claw it out the goal, proper full stretch.
Dubravka. Dubravka. Yeah.
And the defender knew nothing about it. Bless him. But it was a superb set piece. Our set pieces were excellent. I thought our set pieces were really good. If we're putting balls in like that to get open men, no wonder we can't defend them ourselves, because in training we're obviously doing the attacking ones, going, don't mark him. and we're taking that into the game because that's what it sort of looks like.
Yeah,
But Casemiro, we all know he's a superb header of the ball. He pops up in the box all the time, knocking them in. But this thundered off the bar, came straight back. And you've been there, Stu. You turn around and think, where the fuck's that gone? Bang, ball, fuck. It's gone in the goal. It was one of those, you didn't move, it didn't go in. If you didn't turn around and face it, it wouldn't have gone in. It wouldn't have, you know how you brace, don't you? You brace into a brick wall like trying to chest it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
It was great, and it was a great set piece. But this is becoming a bit of a thing, isn't it? We scored 4 goals?
We have,
and one is in open play. One is a penalty. We'll come on to that near the end.
Yes.
At 97th minute, we'll come on to that. Burmo scored open play, obviously, last Wednesday night. Open play today. He was superb, absolutely superb. But he was only really the big fish once Cunha went off injured.
Okay.
So it felt like we were giving the ball to Cunha, feeding Cunha. Shit, Cunha's not there. We're going to feed him Burmo. But then also some tweaks that happened when Bruno moved further up and Mount came off at half-time for Kobe. Bruno moved into that 10. Or did he? It was one of those. We were like,
yeah.
So we sort of got a little bit lost with the tactics watching it. And certainly when I was listening to the commentary on it as well, they were a bit baffled of what was going to go on, because we've all heard from Amorim himself saying, well, Bruno and Kobe can't play in midfield together. Kobe can't play with Casemiro. It's amazing what happens when you get a player injured or sending off or something, and goes out the window. And we've all been there. But first half, I thought out the blocks we were on fire again. It was no different to the Arsenal game. It was no different to the Fulham game. And do you know what it feels like? It felt like a kids' game where you're like, if we can just weather the storm, they're going to run themselves out of steam. And that feels like watching Manchester United in the first halves now. We used to be a half team, didn't we? Yeah, no, definitely. 2 or 3 managers. Now it feels like we're a first 20 minutes team and we start slowing down. Yeah. We're either getting found out or we go full throttle and can't maintain it.
I think that's a bit of a problem for us. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so look, guys, it's going to be a bit of a different show tonight. Jarvis normally does all the video clips, and myself, Mark and Jarvis, we would go down. It would analyse everything. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to do that today. I've been engaged family-wise today. But all right, let's drill down into the game. Let's pop it into segments. You mentioned the first 15 to 20 minutes. We were quite free-flowing from the parts of the game that I've seen. We attacked very well as a unit, defended quite well as a unit. But there are certain issues at the moment, and I think we touched on this on Thursday, where you've got Cunha and where you've got Mbeumo, and what their actual relationship is like with Mr. Bruno Fernandes. So prior to Cunha, which I think he went off in the first half, didn't he? Was it midway through the first half?
He went off about 25, 30 minutes in.
So midway into the first half, and then you mentioned that Mbeumo came alive. But how are you looking at certain elements of the game? Then how are you looking at the interaction between Bruno and Mbeumo? And you've got to count. Unfortunately, you have to count Mason Mount in this at the moment because of the Sesko conundrum that we have. How are you finding those? Just before you answer, I'm entertaining coming with a brilliant calling show last night. Absolutely. It's the first one that we've done, and we are going to do more of those. We're just in this little bit of a holiday period, work period at the moment, where myself and Jarvis are kind of out the country a lot. So Catherine,
I did that for United Stand and almost got in a fight with Faz live on TV.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm not. Who hasn't? Yes, it's raining up here, so I haven't had a chance.
Down here.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to deal with it, Catherine. No nonsense midday, but I've had my card marked, and I will deal with it for the next show. I promise you. But yeah, so let's just have a quick look. Nathan's in the chat. Is that Nath?
Yeah, that should be Nath. Yeah.
Nath, if that is you in the chat and you want to come and join and rep balls out by more than one of you, then please let Mark know, and then Mark will send you the link. Alex, big up Tactical Devils. Hi, Stu. Hi, Alex. That's great. Danny B's in the house. Adam Partridge. Right then. So yes. So
you want to know how they're linking up?
Yes, get a hair transplant. For you, I will, Catherine. For you, I will. Yes, let's talk about the link up. Let's talk about, I think, the disciplinary issue that Bruno still has. I'm not really sure that the Mbumo Cunha Bruno conundrum is great, including Mount as well. So, what was your first thoughts while they were all three were on the pitch?
Well, let's talk about the front three, because their link up is unreal. Mount, Cunha, and Mbumo. So let's jump straight in with the sad news. Looks like Mount and Cunha have both picked up knocks.
Yes.
And it is rumoured this is going to be constant. Whatever Mount did to himself, he'd been playing with knocks for too long with Chelsea, and he's damaged his body.
Yes.
And, me and you, Stu, can both attest to that in football. Happens all the time, and it's why you shouldn't do it. But if you love the game, you want to play. They are superb. They're knocking the ball, little 1-2s, step over, letting the ball run, step overs like that. But on the other side, Bruno is not necessarily feeding them. Not like you would intend. It is not necessarily that many passes into feet. It's a lot of balls turned around where his feeding of Mbumo is in behind. Yeah, definitely do that.
Yeah.
So we're still playing way too many crossfield balls, and Mbumo's picking them up in the wide positions. He's getting crosses in. He's getting to where he was happy. Sort of. Remember a couple months ago we said about getting the front three in the box in straight lines, like front post, penalty spot, back post.
Yeah.
That seems to be happening, or was happening. Cunha is getting passed to by a lot. Surprise, by his compatriot in Casemiro. He's feeding the ball into his feet, turn and run with it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the feeding into their feet is coming from Casemiro. It's not coming from Bruno. What's coming from Bruno is a lot of the wide balls clipped out to the wing backs.
So obviously I want to keep going on this, but what's your thoughts on why Bruno's not pushing those through? And it is Casemiro, because we're looking at Bruno as our creative force, aren't we? The creative elements of what makes the club tick. Why do you think it's Casemiro that's offering that through the middle and not Bruno so much?
I had two trains of thought on this. I have the Man United fan fault, and I have the coach's fault. From what I see from a coaching point of view, this is a choice, not a request. This is, if I knock it out wide, I've got time to get into the box.
Yeah.
If I play it short, they turn and run with it. I can't catch them up, and I'm not going to get a chance to get a secondary shot off. So that's the two ways I'm seeing it, where we all know Casemiro isn't going to get up and down the pitch. So what's the most sensible thing, and what has he done for his entire career? Get the ball, half turn, lay it off. Get the ball, half turn.
He moves it to someone like the Bruno. Yeah, Modric, doesn't he? Yeah, he's had that luxury of working with two of the best, hasn't he?
Yeah, and if the gap's in behind, he helps it and he bends it down the sidelines. Right, he always plays it from like with a really nice bend on it, and it ends up sometimes going out for a corner, but it's got a nice whip on it.
Yeah,
where Bruno's still trying too many Hollywood passes. And we all knew this is the change that Amorim spoke about, the discipline. It's not just the running, it's a change in your tactical passing.
Yeah.
Like, you can look at a player, and this isn't a Bruno thing, this is a standard thing with players, and go, he completed X amount of passes. Well, yes, because if he's knocking it in behind and someone's running onto it, that's still classes as a completed pass, right? Well, if we get there. But whereas I only really ever care about how many completed short 5-yard passes have you made, keeping that ball ticking if you're playing in midfield.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but Bruno and Casemiro don't seem to be gelling a little better. sometimes it looks like they're going to run into each other, but now they're slamming the brakes on like 5-10 yards apart, so they don't go into the same spot.
Yeah.
So and we know that's going to be a Bruno thing. But he's still coming down. There was something. I meant to clip it up because I've recorded parts of the game on my laptop. And Bruno was picking it up between the centre. Well, actually, we've got three centre backs, but between De Ligt and Luke Shaw. So Shaw ends up. He could have passed it to De Ligt, but goes into Bruno instead of. Exactly what we talked about last week on the tactical breakdown.
Yeah.
Where while we're not playing the 10, 20-yard balls across the back line, we're playing 5-yard balls and slowing the game right the way down. And it was at that point you go, you're in the wrong space. You're trying to get on the ball. You're trying to give yourself a turn like a truck to face people up in space.
So when Bruno, if you remember Bruno actually from 18 months ago, and I did make this point, I think a couple of weeks ago, we were on a show together, made this point, didn't I? If you are Bruno of 18 months ago, you're in a completely different mindset, aren't you? Maybe even 2 years ago, you're in a completely different mindset on how you're playing the game. So you've got players like Cunha, you've got players like Casemiro around you, and Bumo, Mount to an extent, because I really agree with you. I think Mount and Bumo and Cunha's link-up play for the parts of the game I've seen today was brilliant. It was really, really strong, and I was really, really pleased with it. But the Bruno from 2.5 years ago, he finds Bumo better. He's more smoother with Cunha, the way that he's playing. I think Cunha and Bruno are very, very disjointed at the moment. They're not on the same wavelength. Whether they like each other or not, I don't know. I can't quite work it out. It's something not quite there. And then you've got Mounts. Not today, didn't really drop into Bruno's positions. Cunha didn't drop into Bruno's positions, and then Bumo didn't. What I was more disappointed in is Bruno's orchestration of the game. I'd like him to orchestrate it better. I'd like him, like you say, to receive the ball for 10 yards, 12 yards max off of Casemiro, and then enable something, saunter into the final third and then do something with it. I want to see vision. I want to see crisp, sharp passing, and I want to see movement. And we're not quite there yet, are we? But, people will talk about, and Mr. B's already been in with Scammering to win. Everybody's happy that we won the game today. Whether we see a turning point after that, I don't know. I've got a couple more questions for you in a minute. Guys, thank you all so much. Welcome, Mr. B. The Vutinator's here. John Edmonds, Jay, our moderators, are here as well. Please smash a like. Jarvis is away on business in, I think he's actually hammered. Last time I spoke to him, I don't think he could speak. I think he's been out from 6 till 6 again. A disgrace. Business meeting, yeah. He hasn't had his P45, Catherine, no nonsense McDade. It's obviously his channel, and he's the cornerstone of it. Let's flip the script then to the back three, so to speak, and how you saw that dynamic work today. I saw plenty of holes again. Although, again, I thought it was quite interesting. Shaw looks quite sharp at the moment, quite fit. He's lasting games of football. De Ligt, again, I think he's still a bit of a beast for us. I like him. We are struggling though, aren't we, in terms of issues and areas with possession and position. And then we've got our good old Dallo. And of course, I think Yoro was part of the back three today. I'm not mistaken, am I, about that?
Yeah, right sided.
Yeah, I'm not mistaken about that. So there are still issues. We're a little bit fractured at the back. How did you see that dynamic playing today? By the way, welcome Rashmano, and Johnny K may be joining us. I'm not quite sure yet. He's just giving me the thumbs up. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it was a back three. Now, what is our formation?
Well, he's supposed to be playing a 3-4-3. That's his favoured system, isn't it? But I don't think we play a 3-4-3, do we? So
no.
You tell me.
The reason I say that is we keep talking about these players in certain positions. We keep talking about wing backs. Well, if you're playing 3-4-3, there are no wing backs.
Correct.
Okay. So he mentioned that in his post-match thing. He mentioned that thing 3-4-3. And I'm like, well, is this what's screwing us? Because both our wing backs are were leaving their side at exposed. Now, let's start with the right-hand side. I thought Ahmad was doing a great job going forward, and he really did help pin them back in the first 20, 25 minutes. But defensively, he leaves Euro exposed, and the only person he has in front of him is Casemiro.
Yes.
And Burmo, I did see drop back into that space a little bit quicker today. So I don't know if that's an instruction. This is where I'm still learning how he's playing this formation, because everyone says wing backs, but then they mention a 4. And then if you're saying it's a front 3, then it's not 2 10s, it's a front 3. Where you wouldn't have them drop.
Yeah, so just describe to the Devilish Tacticos your wing back system, how you see a wing back working.
Well, basically, if you're playing wing backs, you almost, if everyone thought of a 4-4-2, this is the best way to think. You think of 4-4-2, and you remove the wide players, both your fullbacks and your wingers, and you push the wingers inside somewhere. You just literally went in on a tactical board and you just slide them in and go, right, this is what we've got in the middle. These players are going to play somewhere. But your wing backs are your fullbacks, your wingers, and your front 3.
Yeah.
And they have to work like that for the whole game. In theory, if the ball is on the left, they will be lopsided. You know, they're not going to both be up here. Well, at the moment, we keep getting both of our fullbacks too high up, which is on the counter, leaving Casemiro most likely in front of a back 3, which even if they spread like they're meant to play wide and he drops in as a full centre back, he doesn't have the legs. And this is a known fact to, I don't know, even the relegated teams from last year in the Premier League who go, let's exploit Casemiro's pace.
Yes.
So straight away, you'd say, if we lose the ball, we've got to drop 10, 15 yards. We don't do that. We're staying on the halfway line. Ahmad is doing okay at getting back. He's a little bit slow to react. He's like, oh, shit, yeah, I've got to go. You know, and that will come.
Yeah.
Dalot, on the other hand, I cannot believe Dorgu was dropped today. Now, I can only say it was for a rest, but he dropped him for midweek. And I thought that was the rest compared to like other players. Is there been a falling out because over his Danish compatriot having to be forced out the club? I don't know, but as you know, as he said, something out of turn. But Dalot hasn't got a clue, and to play him left wing back, for fuck's sake,
yeah, it was a problem, wasn't it?
Well, you know, Ahmad's left-footed, right?
Yeah.
So the most sense would have been to play him on the correct sides. Yeah. Just to keep him on his left foot. And that made Luke Shaw a bit exposed. Like you said, Shaw was looking more and more composed. He went on a few runs down the side, but he couldn't feed the ball because he couldn't go outside of the player. He always had to feed it in towards the right foot. And anyone who plays with inverted wingers, like in football, or normally your Sunday league side where your left winger's right-footed, you all know that they can't do that ball where you play it inside the fullback and expect them to put it in. They're going to want to cut back.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It was a really interesting aspect for me. Vera was saying, or Vera, I'm going to go with Vera, maybe because of Walker and using the experience to go one-on-one with Walker. I don't know, quite interesting. Vulps is in the chat. Good to see Stu, Mark, and chat. Big up, Vulps. Happy 3 points as well.
Yeah.
Costa would be better. I think Carlos is talking goalkeepers. I'm not 100% sure. Totally agree with you, actually, Mark. On wing-backs. I think wing-backs in football's one of the most difficult conundrums you'll see. Yep. So I was taking my
subs. You should be changing both your wing-backs every game.
Yeah,
if they're playing the position properly, they should need to be changed almost on half-time. And if you can do that, you will punish teams galore. Because if they got fast wing backs that can go up and down, you will absolutely destroy teams.
I'm just going to bring Johnny K in. Just before you come in, Johnny, I was just going to give my thoughts on wing backs. So wing backs for me, I mean, look, as a centre half, they're the bane of my life. I prefer a straight four at the back. I like a four at the back. It's you're more compact. I think you're more composed. It's very easy to assign players to you. As soon as they come into a zonal area, you can just shuffle across if you need to. But kind of, you're only normally up against 2, 3 at max. You know, when you're facing a break. The thing for me about wing backs is very simple. You need them. I always go with a smiley face, don't I? You've heard me talk about this. Johnny has a lot of times a smiley.
It's just a shoestring defence, mate. It's a shoestring defence.
Yeah, you always want your main centre half, me, always back, pretty much hugging the edge of the area, and then you want your other two pushed up slightly, and then you want your wing backs pushed up slightly. What we don't do, and what annoys me more than anything, is that we go out to Yoro instead of going out to Dallo or going out to Ahmad or going out to Dorgu. We're going out to Shaw. And that's what frustrates me more than anything. We don't mix it up. And we put ourselves into so much trouble and real turnover issues and transitional issues because we're quite predictable. And I think that's the issue. So I like a wing back just to work the middle third, box to box, and that's it. That's where I want them. I don't want them overlapping down to the byline, and I don't want them getting in a defensive way either. So I want them box to box in that middle third. I don't think we've got cute enough players to play that system. Who can operate within that. Now you also mentioned about tucking in, and when you tuck in, this is where my vision and our system is completely wrong, because when we tuck in, Mark, what do I want? I want Cunha and I want Mbumo to tuck in as well to strengthen that umbrella.
Yeah,
I like the umbrella
out wide,
but it doesn't happen, does it? And that's my biggest problem. Guys, there is just over 60 of you watching, which is absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. I was expecting only 2, considering Jarvis wasn't here. No offense, Mark, but great to see you all. I'm Titanium. We'll talk about that Monday because obviously I think there'll be a couple more signings coming in. I think we'll definitely get a goalkeeper, and I think there may be a surprise for us. 25 likes, guys. Please like and subscribe. Also, welcome Johnny K, who is coming all the way from sunny Florida. Johnny, we've spoke about. Yeah, it's raining here, and Johnny K is.
Well, it's coming to the time of day where usually a thunderstorm comes here.
Oh, no, you don't, because you're going to get Mark.
Feel like you're back here, mate, because I've got a thunderstorm brewing over my house right now. So.
And you're going to give Mark a migraine, so don't do that.
Yes,
don't do that. Johnny, we've spoken about the Bruno and Mbumo and Cunha, maybe Mount combination or conundrum. I call it conundrum because I'm not seeing them working together at the moment. Shame that we might have injuries to Mount. Shame that we've got an injury to Cunha. But what that thinking will be for our next match, which is a week's time. I think we've got a week off, haven't we now?
No, it's international break, so it's 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks' time, yeah. I forgot about the international. I hate the international.
Good news, it's City.
Well, think of the positive.
It's City, isn't it?
We can celebrate a win for 2 weeks.
well, can I just say, we are currently ahead of Manchester City in the table. We are currently sitting around 9th. Newcastle drew, Leeds drew, so we're doing quite well. So we talked about our conundrum, but I want to go a little bit further with you, Johnny Cat. I want you to bring in KB Mainoo, and I want you to talk about how Mainoo would work better with Cunha and Mbumo as opposed to Bruno's difficulties with Cunha and Mbumo. Going to put you right on the spot, pal.
Yes. Well, I think, thank you for having me on anyway. And good evening to everyone. And I think in regards to the connectivity, in regards to Mainoo, I'll take it back. You can see in the second half when Mount came off at half time why he might play, because I think we lost a little bit of connection in the second half, whereas in the first half we're more of a threat. We should have been a couple of goals up. So what Mainoo when he came on, and he didn't play badly, but I think what he needs to do is establish himself. I know there's been rumours about him wanting to go away, and yes, indeed.
The Manc, Florida.
I watched the game with the Orlando United supporters group today, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so it was nice. So we're all holding each other's arms, hoping Bruno scored that penalty. So
I bet you were.
yeah,
Yes.
we were like, please get the win. But no, in regards to Mainoo, it's key to his development, but also what he's good at. Now, what does Mainoo do well? It's typically he's not one to spray the passes. He's not one to. It's not really one for tackling. But what he does do, he is composed on the ball, and what he is able to do is find those tight spaces where he can, connect the play, find man simple passing, that kind of thing. He did it at times today, but maybe not effectively as much as he should have done. Now, that's for me where someone like Mason Mount was doing it. He's one that can connect the play. Okay, he's not getting the goals and assists, and he obviously needs to improve that game, but you can see why you need players that will connect the play for you, not necessarily get the goals. And for me, it's about Mainoo establishing his role. This issue with the two in midfield, whether it's Casemiro, Bruno, Ugarte, Bruno, or whoever, it's like it is difficult to control the game with just two and then two number 10s. What I would like to see if Amorim is to remain is like a slight technical adjustment at times. You got two midfielders and you got the two number 10s. And if Mainoo is to play, I would like to see, like hover a little bit so he connects like the midfield and the number 10 and the striker, almost like at times make it a 3 in midfield, although maybe a little bit more forwards, perhaps, or maybe Bruno pushes up there and he intercepts. So I think for me, Mainoo's strength is to try and, connect the play, as it were, and be able to, float around where at times he can push up to support the striker, but also at times if we're having a bit of difficulty controlling the ball, stepping back a little, just try and make it a 3 midfield so that you don't lose that control, because that's my fear is at times if you're playing two midfield, if you playing against a team that is happy for you to have the ball, you don't necessarily need a 3 midfield. However, if you need someone, if you're playing against a team like Man City who do control the ball, it's possibly more important that you have one of those centre dropping back sometimes. So for me, part of his development is to identify where he needs to be on the pitch, where he can make it effective so that he understands, like, right, when should I sit in? When should I go forwards? He has the ability to do it, but it's about where he can improve as a player, is where sometimes he might not be in the right position. He's got to be able to read the game and understand where he can affect the game most, where he can effectively, get the team playing, passing the ball out and, doing sustained attacks. That's for me where I think he needs to, learn and develop as he goes forward in his career.
So, Mark, what's your thoughts on what Johnny said? Brilliant actual description there, John. Absolutely brilliant. What's your thoughts there, Mark?
Yeah, I think you've covered most of the points off. Like, we can talk about Kobbie Mainoo, but the problem is everyone tries to put him in a bracket of a replacement player. So if he comes in, he's got to play the same way as that player he's coming in for. The press resistance, the tight turns, things like that, is actually what made him so good when he came on today.
Yeah.
So the substitute change, to my eyes, right from the off, I was like, well, he's obviously going to put Bruno in the 10, Mainoo in midfield with Casemiro. But when they started, it looked like they were dovetailing between Mainoo and Bruno and getting in each other's way, or no one knew who'd gone into the 10 and who hadn't. So it took a while to work that out. what Mainoo is good at is exactly what I just said Bruno is not good at. 5-yard passing.
Yeah.
Mainoo is happy to get the ball, pop it around, and get a 1-2, or just the pre-assist, as I always call it. The assist before the assist. He's happy to do that, and that is how Mbeumo got into the game. It wasn't because if you think about it, Bruno then moved into his natural position out wide on the right where the 10 is, and who was giving the ball to Mbeumo? It was Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo, and that got him in the game. Would we be talking about Bruno in a positive way if he didn't score the penalty today? I don't really think so. I saw him get joint man of the match on a certain channel, and I was like, were you watching the same game I was? Because I said to you, he was at fault for the goal that was disallowed for I don't know, whoever had the longer sleeve shirt on, which was an absolute joke. That is not offside. I'm sorry, thank God it was, but it is not offside when you're marking someone, depending, whether it's on the shirt sleeve or not.
Yeah.
Because then that's just down to, if you've got Traore and he's got his shirt up like that with his arms are built, you've got no chance, have you? He's got no sleeves. But he was lying on the floor whinging at the referee again when they broke, and that ball got played through. So you see everything in the games. And this is the things Kobe Mainoo won't do.
Yes. Yeah.
But as you said, it's about where they are. It's about the sitting in. It's knowing when to go. He's only just got up.
He has, bless him.
He had no breakfast. No. He did sit in. I thought that is what he did. There was a point in the match, Stu, and if you can watch the full highlights, and they put this in there where he sweeps up as a number 6. And I'm thinking, Stu's going to love that. Ball got played in, and he sprints back diagonally and forces the player wide. And I was like, well, this is where Stu's saying he can learn that 6 role.
Yeah.
It's about, he wouldn't have done that if he wasn't already sat in where he was meant to be, 5 yards off of the centre-backs, trying to control the game.
Yeah, exactly.
He is a very, very smart player. I said last week, both on Balls Out podcast and on here, saying he needs to leave to get football because he's too good not to be playing. Now,
so
it's amazing, but he will now probably get game time.
You kind of segued me. Yeah, you segued me quite
just
nice.
Let me cover off why.
Yeah.
I think you don't see Ugarte back in a Man United shirt this season. I think Ugarte was the player he was talking about on Wednesday night, was one of the biggest letdowns when he put him on the pitch. He wasn't even, I don't think he was even on the bench today after that. And you have to remember, he sold Ugarte to PSG.
He did. So my segue about that is, and there's a lot of talk that Mainoo was asked twice now in the last 24 hours to go out on loan. He wants game time. Amorim was asked about it yesterday in his presser, and during that presser, he says he's got to fight for his place, blah, 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 and I don't want him to go. Today, Mount gets injured, Mainoo gets his chance. Now, that's fine. That happens in football all the time. It really,
that's what football's about.
Football's all about that. Did he, and both of you, I'd like you both to answer this, did he take his chance today? Do you think? It's a tough question. I know.
It is.
But you've got to ask that question, haven't you? Because, and I'd love to know. Yeah, Devilish Tacticos, let us know as well in the chat whether you think Mainoo took his chance or not in the 45 minutes that he played. Either one of you go. Just don't really mind. Either one.
JK, can I go first on this one?
Sure.
Just briefly, from what I saw, he came on and did most things right. But it felt like he was being pushed into the wrong position sometimes by where other players were.
Right.
I feel he's going to be hard done by because that's going to go down as an own goal for him against him as well. When people started doing what went on in the game, it was his player that scored. But he made a choice. Stu, you would have made this choice.
He made a poor tackle, didn't he? Or an attempt.
No, he went for the block. He went for the block.
That's the block. Yeah.
And then he couldn't react to the rebound, which was like he blocked to the left and the rebound came to the right and he couldn't react to it.
Sorry, I remember that.
Yeah. He done what he could do in the game. I would have given him a solid 6 out of 10. but I wouldn't have rated many players higher than that. So I would say he's got one hand on it and ready to take it, but has he got 90 minutes in his legs currently?
Yeah.
So Ugarte was on the bench, but I still don't think we see. So there you go. Ugarte was on the bench, and we probably should have brought him on for Casemiro and didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Johnny, what's your thoughts on Kobbie Mainoo? Do you think he took his chance?
I think Mark's spot on. I think he didn't play badly, but I don't think he quite grasped the game. I don't think he influenced in the way he could have done. Yes, there are times where I think also at times it was confusing. Like there were times where he was close to their penalty box, and then towards the end of the game he was the sweeper, a couple of times. So it was a bit like where is he playing exactly? So it looked like he was playing in multiple position. Maybe that's down to management and tactics, not necessarily down to him, but I think he did well, but again, you can always do better. I think that's the fair way to say it. I just look at it from the point of view where he wasn't playing in the first half, and we were playing. We played better in the first half in regards to, and that's why I say, Mason Mount can make that difference in that regard, and this is where I think Mainoo perhaps needs to learn and develop his game. He's still a talent. He did well today, but he just needs. He was okay. Effectively, he was okay. Not great, but not poor. So yeah.
So are we in a situation then with Mainoo that he's come on and he's maybe tried to overplay the situation? He didn't.
No. He certainly didn't try and overplay. He didn't try and do. Basically, he'd done everything. But if I said he's a 6 out of 10, you're happy with that from your central midfielder because he didn't really make any mistakes, and he didn't really make an impact.
Yeah.
And the game has sort of gone to that. It's gone to a bit of a stalemate. But what I will say, and I only just popped into my head while you were talking, he would have made a better replacement in the front line straight for Mount from going into that midfield and pushing Bruno forward. Because where Mount was playing, he was, like I say, they were dovetailing, weren't they? Cunha and Mount and Burmo. We never really know which one's up front, that whole false nine. You have to remember, that was Kobbie Mainoo's position through youth football. He was a striker / number 10. So he knows that role well. And we've seen him finish from around the box, get in there, the sharp little turns, the little 1-2s. He's got a great little 5-yard sprint in him, which is the hardest thing for a defender to keep up with over the first 5 yards. But the swap with the Bruno, now when your manager's saying you need to compete with Bruno, it's a hard mindset to have. Do I need to do what Bruno does then? Because if you're asking me to compete with Bruno, what are you asking me to do?
Yeah.
But I think Mainoo replaces Cunha. Well, we're without both. So Sesko replaces Cunha and Mainoo goes into the 10 for Mount. And I think we stay solid because you need a solid midfield. We can't be now taking Bruno out of that midfield.
Yeah. So my question to that, or my answer to that was going to be, you bring in Sesko, take Cunha out, you push Bruno into Mount's position, and then you bring Mainoo into Bruno's position. What do we think about that, John?
I mean, possibly eventually, but it has been a bit confusing. When he's been saying he's competing directly with Bruno, but Grimsby, they both played on the pitch, played a half together. And today they played a half together. So it's a bit confusing in that regard. So for me, it's I think that in regards to how you should connect is that it depends on how Cunha, because apparently he wasn't wearing any protection on his ankle or anything when he left the stadium today. So hopefully it might not be as bad as first thought. I mean, Mason Mount, apparently that was precaution as well. So hopefully they won't be injured for too long, if at all. But the other thing is, I know Mainoo wants to move and, for get on loan, but we've only got 4 midfielders. You got Casemiro, you got Ugarte, you got Bruno, Mainoo. You can't afford to let him go. But one thing he just needs to be patient, because we will get injuries. Mount will eventually get injured if he isn't already. Bruno, okay, never gets injured. Casemiro, he's in his 30s. He might get an injury. Eventually, he will get his chance, and typically your teams pick up a lot of injuries during the autumn. So he just needs to be that patient. He has got game time this week. He's done, reasonably okay, not great. But I think that eventually, when he gets his chance, it's important he stays in the team. We're still early on in the season. We will pick up injuries. He's just got to make sure that he's ready, that when he does get his chance, he takes it. He will get his chance in a couple of months, because injuries will happen.
Yeah, totally agree. Great. Well, that kind of wraps up the players that I wanted to discuss. So we do need to discuss Mr. Buendia, and he's wonderful. I'll just parry it out to anyone I can be bothered to.
Can I just come back on the chat first? I think of course. Mentioned something about Mainoo and that he needs to be improved. Now, Stu, you played a different position to where you play now. Yes. How many years did it take you to learn the second position properly?
Oh, crikey. It took me a good two years to really understand what I was doing. Yeah.
Mainoo at 16 was playing up front for the United. At 18, then they pushed him into a number 10 role in the 18s. Now we are trying to push him back into a central midfield / DM role. In that amount of time, he's learning 4 positions, and I can't explain to you, it doesn't matter how intelligent you are, you get lost. The easiest place to be lost is central midfield with 360 degrees of action going on around you. Now, if you're a winger dropping back to a fullback, piece of piss. Okay, the game is still right in front of you. A CDM dropping back to a centre-back, Stu will back me up here. I now have only to look forward. This is great. I don't have to worry about behind me. They're offside. You've only got to look at that.
Yeah, okay? Correct.
And same as a striker, it's very hard for him to drop back into a 10 role or central midfield. And that's why Rooney and Kane are the top of their game for being able to do it, because they were used to watching everything and going, and I go. It's as simple as that. And then they've got to do the box-to-box. Kobe Mainoo, you have to remember, is a young kid learning so much. And everyone goes, but he's a professional footballer. Stop rating him up there. There's a reason he's only on £20,000 a week compared to 200,000, 300,000, almost 400,000, like some of our other players. You cannot hold him at the same ability. This kid has asked for a loan. He has not asked for a transfer. He is not handing in a transfer.
Just a loan, he said,
I want to play for Manchester United. If I'm not getting the game time, I will go and prove myself at another club, and I will come back. 2 weeks ago, Stu is going, why the hell did we get rid of Garner? Because he was in the same predicament, and he asked for a transfer, and now a few of us were like, oh, we'll take him back. Yeah, he done all right. Take Garner back. Or Hannibal today worked his arse off, still proving that he could have stayed at Man United, and played, but he's back in the Premier League. And there's so many Man United players who still play in the top level. Mainoo is not a Bruno Fernandes. He is not a Casemiro, and he will stand out like a sore thumb replacing them.
Yeah, and I don't want him to be that player. I want him to be his own player. And I look at him and I look at his attributes, and I think that a lot of people can see where he should be playing on the pitch. I can just see a difference.
This is the biggest attribute he can have.
Yeah, Kobe Mainoo. I just see a different one, and I think we've got a really nice, solid CDM there, but it takes time to push into that. We can't get away from talking about our goalkeeping. Oh, Jesus, I'm sick and tired of talking about it. It seems every game there's a mistake by a goalkeeper and Buendia.
Do you want me to compound it for you? They had 3 shots. He made one save. They had 3 shots on target and scored 2 goals.
Scored twice, yeah. And the goal that was
disallowed. And one offside goal where they went round.
Offside, really. Okay.
And the save led to the goal.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it? So let's talk about Buendia. So let's talk about their 2 goals. Johnny, talk us through their first goal. what your thoughts were, what you thought about Bayern D, how we defended it, where we kind of broke down the play, and what we could have done to avoid it.
I mean, in fairness, I don't think he had too. I won't put too much blame on him. No, that was it was the ball whipped in and he had it
whipped across.
Yeah. So I won't put too much blame on him for that. It was a good ball, and I blame it more on the centre halves that goal. So I won't put too much blame on him. But the second goal, I mean, while he didn't make a big error. It's a ball into the box, and this is my issue with a goalkeeper when your defense doesn't have confidence in you as a goalkeeper. In that, even when there's no technical error by the goalkeeper, and you're under pressure, whether it's a throw-in or a corner or a free kick, it does affect the rest of the defense and their ability to clear it, because it's like we don't have faith in our goalkeeper to take the pressure off us. So therefore, it's more pressure on the defenders to actually clear the ball and everything. And again, the defence were at fault. I can't remember who failed to clear it, so we should have absolutely cleared it. But it's that panic setting, and the guy. Was it 5 yards out when he tapped it in? It's just
something like that. Yeah, it's about 5 yards.
It's just it's just poor goalkeeping. It really is. You got to close down the area, make sure you're not beaten or anything. And this is what I mean. It doesn't matter who's in goal, whether it's Binder or Onana. The defense cannot have any. And we're after Lamens. I don't know much about him at all, but again, it's like it will cost you. Effectively, bar the Grimsby game, you think we should have really had 3 wins out of 3 this season. If you think about the general game, and yet our goalkeepers have made mistakes in every single game, and that's the reason why we're out of the cup, and we've lost 1, drawn 1, and almost drew 1 again today.
We went out of Champions League.
Yeah,
I
know.
We're sitting on 4 points. Don't forget, ahead of City.
Yeah.
Let's dine out on that for 24 hours, Jets.
But it should also be said that we are. If you ignore your Liverpools, your Arsenals, and your Cities, Villa haven't had a good start. Newcastle haven't had a good start.
We're ahead of both of those.
Tottenham lost today. It's like when you think the teams we're competing with the Europe, Brighton haven't had a great start. Bournemouth done okay, but again, it's like those teams like we're desperate and everything, but we've had a better start than Newcastle. We've had a better start than Aston Villa. So you got to take the rough with the smooth as well. And for me, the goalkeeper is, if you don't have it's the number one position on the football pitch where you need someone solid. If you don't have a solid goalkeeper, it just massively impacts what you do as a team. It 100% does. Fergie would always say the most important player you have is the goalkeeper, and it doesn't matter how well you attack and everything. If you have a goalkeeper who'll make mistake after mistake after mistake, it'll cost you, and it nearly cost us again today. And I just hope we get, if Lamens, hopefully we get him in, and if we do, hopefully he'll bring confidence to defence. But it's just desperate stuff at the moment.
Yeah. So latest on Lamens is that apparently he wants to come to Manchester United. I don't know about that.
Apparently,
the agent now trying to get more money or something like that because he.
I mean, we're the only one that can fuck up a 20 million quid deal, aren't we?
Apparently, because he'll be coming in now. Everyone knows won't be coming in as a second choice, which we first thought it would be the case. He's going to be coming in as number 1, so I want to be paid for a number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Can we just going back to the goals? While you were talking, I've just gone on. I've got YouTube open in front of me, just watching both goals back. The first one, 100%, I didn't think Bayern D was at fault. I've watched it back on the Premier League highlights. They get a great angle of him thing on. He plants his foot, which he would need to do, and he's doing the splits. I'm like, you can't dive. So he's at fault for that because of his positioning. He's standing on the goal line. But the second one, you said the defender that didn't clear it. Guess who the player is who is not marking his player and ends up lying on the floor? I'm looking at it right now, about 5 yards away from the player who knocks it back into that.
Don't say anything. Let the chat answer that. Get your answers in the chat, and then we'll come back to that.
And if you don't believe me, chat, Premier League highlights. There are other places you can watch it. But 2 minutes, 16 seconds in on the video, and you can see exactly who it is on the floor. And that was his man at the back post. So you want to watch it for about 2 minutes, 13 seconds, and you'll see what I mean. But that's what led to it, a goalmouth scramble. It's just one simple person not going with their player, and Stu knows this. That can destroy your whole defensive setup because it put everyone out of position.
It can. I mean, you put one.
Someone's going to jump now to that player, and it has a knock-on effect, right?
But, we were having our feisty debate the other night. It's actually exactly the point I was making. That was the point I was making about somebody having to jump.
Yeah.
And then it puts you directly out of position.
Yeah, and I was making the same point. You were seeing it from.
Yeah, I was seeing it different.
I'm going. Yeah. If he does nothing happens.
I see it purely from Jarvis to tell you, Mark. I'm terrible. I just see it from the eyes of the defender. Johnny K sits most of it. When me and Jarvis are doing it, Johnny K just laughs at me. Oh, fucking Stu's on one again. He's fucking defensive. That's all he fucking talks about. And I do. No, absolutely right. Let's have a look then at Mark, goal number 2 then. Go into that in a bit more detail. Where did it break down from transition?
It's a long throw into the box. It's a long throw into the box. They win the flick on. And that's okay. That happens. The flick on's gone 15 yards across the box out past the 6-yard box on the other side, level lines wise. And I can literally talk it straight through because I've got it in front of me. So as the ball comes in, Carl Walker launches it in. They get the flick on from the 6-yard box. We clear it, and it's just a wild swing. And the man I will not name wasn't with his player and has to make a wild lunge and gets nowhere near it. And that just creates a goalmouth scramble. And we've all had a bit of pinball, and sometimes they go in. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they get lobbed over the bar in the last minute against Grimsby. And sometimes you get a handball. It's just one of those things in football. But by not picking your players up, it goes wrong.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, Shaw actually clears the header. And it's not a bad header. It's been flicked on. And as you know, a lot of people go, oh, he should have done better with that header. If he's flicked it on, he's taken all the pace out of it. It's now a floaty ball, and you've got to generate the pace. And if you're backpedaling,
you got a problem with your neck. Yeah, you got.
That's probably not going to happen unless you make perfect contact. And he puts it out wide again. He gets a decent enough clearance, and the guy volleys it. But if he's being marked, the volley doesn't happen, or at least you're more likely to get a block. And well, football happens, doesn't it? Anything can happen. If you're closer to your man, you're more likely to defend it. Further away, he's more likely to smash it in the back of the net. And then it bobbles around. Kobe Mainoo, exactly what we were just talking about, funny enough, jumped to block that volley. So he left his man, gets a bit of a block on it, and he lunged to his right. The rebound comes out, and the guy puts it to his left. All body weight's there, so Kobe Mainoo can't even get back to his man. Even if he could, it would have been a mere impossibility. And then it's calamity because he saves it, hits Kobe Mainoo in the chest, goes in. So it's just, you can't react. It's just one of them.
No.
Should it have happened? No. Could we have stopped it? I don't know, because I really don't get how United are setting up defensively. If you're throwing a long ball in, I would expect to set up the same way you set up for a corner.
You do. Yeah, you do. So I would be...
exception of maybe instead of marking on the penalty spot where you would have people, you'd obviously move someone over for the flick on. You'd probably squeeze him. Your sandwich hit the flick on.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with the long throw. You've got to be careful with any throw when you're in the final third, because there's no offsides. So you can't play offside anyway. So as soon as the ball's lit, you can't step up. But you want to be around the penalty spot area in a line. That's what ideally where you'd want to be. If you push further back, we walk into the buying deal issue with wrestling with the goalkeeper. and all that kind of stuff and it kind of doesn't work. So you want to be roughly around the penalty spot. It's a bit
funny you say that. We don't step out from the defensive header. We don't step out.
No.
We just turn and go, where's that gone? And Amorim's already alluded to this twice this season, one in pre-season, and one at the very start of the season. We're not quick enough to get in out.
Raymond Pierce, Raymond quality, mate. Yeah, it's Maguire's fault. He was putting his shin pads on at the time. Shocking, absolutely
He
shocking.
should have been ready to come on.
He should have been ready to come on, yeah, absolutely. Guys, we're an hour into the show. We've got about an hour and a half tonight because I'm on taxi duty for my son. He's been at a wedding all day, so I need to go and collect him. So we've got about 20 minutes to half an hour to go. Johnny, I want you to talk about our first goal, explain to the Dervish Tacticos how it unfolded, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, where you felt we got lucky. Then, Mark, if you don't mind, I'd like you to do the same with the second. And then we'll go to the contentious penalty, which I don't think is contentious, but everybody else seems to.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark. Great to see you, Mr. Nurse. Great to see you,
Mark. Yes. And by the way, Catherine, no, I've not had Botox on my forehead. I just saw when I was last speaking, I'm sure someone mentioned about Botox, but first goal, right. So it was good play down the wing, and I think it was Cunha who was fouled, if I remember rightly. But it was a good ball into the box from Bruno. What's been pleasing, what we've seen, is third game in a row where we've scored a goal from a set piece, which is encouraging. So it's good to see that we're a bit of a threat. So it was a good ball into the box from Bruno, where Casemiro got his head on it. It was straight at the keeper. I'd have to take a look at the replay, see whether he should have put in the corner or anything. But then obviously the keeper parried in, it hit the defender and it went over the line. So it was a bit lucky in that regard. But overall, it was a good set piece delivery. The build-up play to the free kick was good. And but it would have been nice if Casemiro actually put in himself. But overall, it was a good set piece. And, we at that point, we deserved to be 1-0 up.
Yeah. So in terms of our overall play, what do you think about the speed, our passing ability, our kind of actually will, want, and desire at that particular time of the game? Is that something that we saw against Arsenal, that we saw against Grimsby?
Yeah. So it was, it was good that, like I say, in the first half, we did play quickly and we did create opportunities and everything, and we did look to get forward. So you touched on about, and Bruno had a couple of chances. There was that ball over the top from Bruno, one touch and fired it. Then a few moments later, Mount played a similar ball and he blazed it just wide. So we were playing, we were getting to positions to create chances and everything. So again, the build up to the free kick was good. It was patient. It was quick. Cunha got out wide and was fouled by Walker, wasn't it? And and what I also liked was that the penalty, which getting involved again, which was overturned. What was encouraging is we didn't let our heads drop from that as well, because like last week when we missed that penalty, our heads dropped. We carried on, and that's probably the thing that we can be most pleased today, even though we had some decisions and some moments which didn't go our way, like the two equalisers. We did find a way to keep playing, to keep going, and it was encouraging that the penalty, I think it was 5 minutes before it was overturned, we still kept going. We got the free kick, we got the goal, so it was encouraging from that perspective. And for the rest of the first half, we kept going, we got the first goal, we looked to get the second. So overall, the play was patient, it was quick, it was effective, and we were a threat. So, yeah.
At that time, Mark, just before you go on to the second goal, at that time, could you see Burnley finding their way back into the match, or did you think it was a bit of a foregone conclusion?
For the first half an hour, they barely stepped foot in our half. Like literally, all they did was clear it. And like I say, they only had 3 shots on target for the whole game, and they both tied into the 2 goals. So no, we were moving the ball around. We were finding little pockets. I think we're still playing a little bit too direct. That's one thing I'd say. But we had pace in Cunha, and Burmo's got pace. Ahmad's got pace. But without Dorgu on the left, that's what made us lopsided today, because Dalu doesn't have pace or enough pace. What I will say on the penalty is that was never going to be given. So even if he had agreed it was a penalty, so every TV station's different to what the commentators say, but they all hear the VAR chat. If he had given the penalty, it was then going to be looked at if it was contact outside of the box. And we all saw there was contact outside of the box to start with for the original knock on his legs before he started to go down. And that would have been ironic, considering where the tug was for the penalty we got. He started pulling in from outside the box. So, and if anyone's aware, VAR can't get involved if it's deemed outside of the box. So I don't know how that works, but apparently they're not allowed to be involved in it. So we probably got away with one and got robbed of one. So it balanced itself out for the first time ever. But VAR for this weekend has been absolutely.
It's been horrendous. I mean, Fulham had a perfectly good goal disallowed today, didn't they?
Don't even go there, because what is that kid meant to do? What is he meant to do? He's doing a roulette spin. He's got to put his foot down somewhere. Since when did that become a foul? You're saying he's on his foot.
It reminded me of, what was it, that game away at Copenhagen? You remember when Rashford got the red card?
Oh, God,
for accidentally stamping on the player's leg.
Yeah.
You know, it reminded me of that.
Yeah, it was exactly that. Where's he meant to put his foot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you're falling down and someone's got their leg outstretched and you know you're going to land on it. You try and take your body weight out of it, knowing I'm going to break his leg if I land on that.
Yeah.
You can't do it. It's just going to be contact. It's a contact sport. Second goal. Let's talk about the second goal.
Yeah.
What was the second goal? So, yeah, I was really shocked, because obviously they just scored. I think it was like 30-something seconds, less than a minute or something, straight back up the other end.
30 seconds, basically. Yeah.
We saw this a lot last season when Dalot. Do you remember when Dalot would run from right back and pop up in the left wing position?
Yeah.
Make that massive diagonal run for a through ball. But obviously he was already there, and he pulls it back. Now the run was great. Carl Walker has definitely lost all of his pace, because Dalot got in front of him, and I've never seen someone get so slow without having a leg cut off. But
yes,
the cutback was brilliant. But we saw this a lot last year from Rasmus, and it's funny how it's a different player when they hit exactly the same shot. Now I thought, oh, amazing! He's reversed it into the far bottom corner while everyone's running across the goal, and he's done that. Put it the other way. He hasn't. He's smashed it, and he's nutmegged the player on the line, and who barely had his legs open.
I know. I know. It's because actually it's
not a great finish. It looks it went in. It's not a great finish. If he lifts it at all, you've got a chance of handball or anything and putting it in the roof of the net. But where he hit it so hard and low and sweet.
There's only one place you could go. Yeah, only one place. I mean, you're a striker, Mark, and you know when the ball comes in like that, what's the first thing you do? You push your fucking foot through it, don't you?
Well, I'm lifting it, and yes, there was a chance you put it over the box, but I'm lifting it.
You're going for a lift, are there?
Yeah, I'm putting it back across because it's pulled back towards me. It's easier for me to side foot it back the way it's come, a bit like a header.
Yeah.
Depending on my angle of approach, I'm whipping it into the far corner. I like to put it away because I can see the players are coming. He's instinctively, because he's dropped off and he set himself and went lever, bang.
That would be me. That would be me, because that's how Neanderthal I am when it comes to football, Mark. I got bang. Have it.
The point I'm trying to make is Rasmus done this last year, and every time he hit a bloody defender.
No, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Interesting you talk, actually, and I want to bring this very, very quickly up. It's interesting you talk about lifting it. Do you remember last season when I think Xerxes Garnacho pushed the ball back into an empty-ish net and it went in off Xerxes' knee? Do you remember he was offside? And I said what Garnacho should have done was lift it into the corner. Not roll
it, just wrap his foot around it into the top corner.
Lift it into the top corner. And people were saying, well, it's a bit harsh. But it wasn't, because it's the only, you could see what was happening. Xerxes' momentum was carrying him through to the goal line, wasn't it? It comes off his knee, he's offside, and everyone's a winner. But that's why I wanted to just talk about that, because you talk about, for me, when that ball comes in, I'm doing like a Mbumo, bang, low and hard, have it. But you're talking about lifting it. Well, I think it was quite.
It depends on the angle. If the ball's being cut back towards him. So if the ball's coming square across the box, then you can put it where you want it. Yeah, where the ideal ball comes across, and you're probably just going to side foot it into an open net with all the power you got. But just in this instance, it's where it came. He hit it. They didn't have time to react, and it went in, and that's what happens. You got to take your chances. We had 26 shots. We scored 2 goals and a penalty. So so there is a good chance that ball gets pulled back and we smack it against the player because we were doing it for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that happens, doesn't it? That happens. Good to see everybody in the chat. Boxing Straight talks in. Burnley are poor. We got away with it. Win is a win. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Coming in. Amorim and the team can't let standards drop. They've got 2 weeks now. They'll probably have a couple of days off if you're not on international duty. Cunha probably won't go with Brazil. Be interesting to see how bad his injury is. I think he got in the Brazil squad, didn't he? So it'll be interesting to see how his injury is. Mount didn't go with England, so he'll probably go for a bit of physio, rest up, come back.
Well, most of our players aren't in national call-up because we've been playing shit, so most of them have been dropped.
Most of them have been dropped, I know. I see Rashford got in though, didn't he?
Well, ironically, Bayern Deer will be meeting up with Turkey because he's still their number 2.
Yes, I know. Yeah, he's not their number 1, is he? We have too many shots
for Turkey, number 1 for United.
Agile beast. What else have we got? Thought Mbumo's pass to Ahmed made it much harder to score. He bounced the pass. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, we've got about 15 minutes.
I think Ahmad's got to finish that.
When Ahmad strikes a bloody volley like that from that corner, then that was an easier chance. He should have just hit it.
Yeah.
He tried to just side
amazing.
This is what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
It's how the ball approaches you, whether you side foot it or lever it. Yeah. So that ball came back, and Bomo had the chance to think about how he was going to make contact. On this one, it's popping up. It's got to be the top of your foot strike into the ball back across the goal. And he didn't. He just tried to place it, and it was always going to jump up on him. So he was screwed. He should have just planted his foot and volleyed it because he's left-footed. So, yeah, Catherine, I'm 6'1". So
6'1". There you go. I'm a measly 5'11".
I'm all over Stu's shoulders.
I'm 6'1" as well.
I'd have to rabbit punch you fucking way. You're 6'1" as well, are you, Johnny K?
Yeah.
I'm a tall bastard. Anyway, we've got about 15 minutes of the show to go, lads. I'm on taxi duty tonight, so I've got to be rigid with it. If Jarvis was here, you could have carried on and spoken for another hour or 2, but unfortunately I can't.
Are we doing the pen?
Yes, we are going to do the pen, and I'd like both your opinions on the pen, but I'm going to give you mine first. 2 sides for me as a Manchester United fan.
You're the defender and a Manchester United fan.
Yeah, all day long a pen as a United fan. As a defender, well, Mark, how many times has that happened to you in the box?
I actually get shouted at for not going down. So I said I would have given it if you did go down. What I will say there, he was never getting that ball. Exactly. That's kind
of where I'm landing with. Yeah, exactly. So
it was never getting the ball, but it was a pen because it is a clear touch.
Big up, Steph. What did you think about that, Johnny?
Oh, clear penalty all day long. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it is a soft. It's not enough contact to go down, but if you don't go down, you don't get the penalty. So, for me, yes, it was. I think as the ref, I must say, I do like the fact that they have the the microphones where they announce the reason why they make the decision. So it's good that he got that. And that's where VAR was. That there's no way the referee would have seen that. So, so for me, it's good that as for a defensive point of view, yes, you as you will know, Stu, you pull at the strike and everything, but you gotta know when to release as well. So, and I think he just held on to him for just a bit
too long.
The
problem was Ahmad arched his body and he's got his shirt out here. I mean, he literally got his shirt here. Ahmad was at his shirt here, and that's the problem. Now, what I failed to understand from a refereeing point of view, I've got to go to the screen to check. I mean,
this I don't like because they're not meant to be re-refereeing the game.
No, they're not.
So for me, that was a re-refereeing decision because the ball went out of play, did it not?
I personally think I don't think Ahmad would have gone the end of it, but I think he could have challenged the defender for it.
He still had to get past another defender, and
well, I did look at the angle of the ball, and I think it's unlikely he would have got on the ball, but not impossible.
I'm telling you, outside of the box, that doesn't get given as a foul, ironically.
Well, it wouldn't been reviewed by VAR, though, wouldn't it? So
no, that's what I mean, and that's why I'm talking about re-refereeing, because last week we all said about the Arsenal game. We said about the foul in the box. If it was anywhere else on the pitch, we probably get a foul. But
I think that's what I mean. If the defender released him just before the penalty area, it's not a foul. The fight carried on into the penalty area. That's what gave us the penalty. So from the defender, it is a penalty. It's unfortunate for the defender, but you can't do that.
It was about the third or fourth time in that game, and went down in the box. So
well, there was that one we had the penalty shout just after the penalty, and the straight was that penalty, but the defender won the ball. So it was a penalty.
And Xerxes, fucking hell, how did he not score? Someone said in the chat, rate Xerxes' performance.
I was going to say Mark Nurse asked that.
I thought it was woeful. With standing still, ball at his feet, brilliant, and he can do that. He's obviously got that technical ability, close ball control with long legs. But like running into the box, I thought, fuck me, how have you got on the pitch before Sesko? But Amorim cleared that up. So if people aren't aware, when we do talk on here, it probably is worth listening to a press conference, post or pre, because I will definitely reference them. Sesko, so he took the 10th penalty, he had cramp.
Yes.
So that's why he took 10th. He's still been suffering with cramp, so I didn't really want to put him on the pitch for too long because he is going to go away on international duty. We all know that means he will get played because he's the starting striker. He will play 90 minutes for 2 games, most likely, and we don't want him to get injured because we just lost 2 players in that. Correct. So you put Xerxes on, but I thought Xerxes was lucky to make it through to half time. He was that bad. I half expected him to come off. Not in a way like he was terrible on the ball. He was so off the pace.
Yeah.
He was so off the pace.
I think maybe with Xerxes, the fact he didn't have a pre-season, maybe him going on international break in a few minutes might make him a little bit sharper. Because sometimes with international break, yes, there is the risk of injury, but there's always...
He's been called up, is he?
Sorry?
Xerxes not. I don't think
he's not called. Sorry.
No, I don't think he's in the Dutch squad. The lads need to, if you're not there, take a couple of days off, come back Thursday.
Maybe for players like Xerxes, Mainoo, you can maybe have a behind closed doors friendly. Just
get a couple of behind closed.
Normal.
Exactly. I don't think it's Delict in the Dutch squad because I know he's missed out a few times.
He fell out with the manager, didn't he?
He fell out with the manager, so I don't know if he's back in actually. I don't know. I must admit, I don't pay any attention to international football unless it's a World Cup tournament, or I quite like the Euros.
Mark just put in the chat, the guy kicked away Xerxes' foot. No, he may have kicked away his foot, but Xerxes had already attempted to hit the worst fucking finish ever with his right foot, because he kicked his left standing foot, and he shouldn't have had a chance. It was just roll it in the bottom corner, and he was like so lethargic to the ball. He should have just slammed it home and then got flattened. But I didn't feel there was enough. There was less contact there than a penalty. And he was putting it shit.
Yeah,
so I did think that should have been reviewed, and they looked at it and went, "No, it's literally a stud on stud kind of scrape across the back of the foot."
Yeah, so. Definitely. Guys, we're coming into 120 minutes, so I think we'll just wrap up in a few minutes. So just give me an overall opinion on the game and what you're hoping for against City when we come back in 2 weeks' time. Mark, you can start.
I was reading the chat, mate. What was the question?
Just about give us an overall, what your thoughts are the first few games of the season, what can we expect when we play City in 2 weeks.
I think you hit the nail on the head with, if we've not got many players on international duty, I hate to say it, there's more time for them to learn.
Yeah.
I've listened to Amorim's post-match, and basically he's implied they're struggling with understanding the system, and he can't be flexible in it until they start doing the basics of the system correctly. And I think we can all agree we don't know what those basics are, so how the hell are they? Yes. I think Arsenal, superb. I think then the next game, drop off, and we needed that Grimsby game. That Grimsby game for today turned us around. But what I also saw is we're still only fit enough to play 45 minutes. And I said in pre-season, going to America is the end of pre-season. So we had a 2-week pre-season. Once you're out there, JK's going to agree with this. We've got people on our show that are in America. It's for the cameras. They don't train properly. Everything's like 2 training sessions a day. They're all being watched, so they can't do technical aspects. They can't do certain drills. I think it was the last day where they walled it off, because everything was done. They walled off everything, and they'd done it at Carrington when they arrived back to work on technical. So no cameras allowed, not even MUTV.
That's it.
We are still playing like a team in pre-season, and that's not acceptable. So all of the fans that call for the Glazers out and everything like that, we are screwed. They are not going anywhere. Don't ever stop, calling for that.
Keep calling for it. Keep calling for it. Yeah.
Yeah, keep calling for it, but call for not doing American tours or international tours until this team starts getting back to the league, because they need to be on the grass.
It's all about that.
10 million? For 10 million? I know that's for us.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
It's costing us more by being shit in the league than what we lose out at the end of the year from the pre-season 10 million deal. Okay, we might have worked on these big Coke deals and, well, that sounds wrong, doesn't it? Coca-Cola deals and things like that while we're in America. And we're still waiting for the third one to be announced.
Don't forget, lads, we're Asian Cup champions, or whatever it was.
Bangkok Centenary Cup.
and we're the American Premier League champions. Come on, trophies this year.
What was the one we beat Fiorentina to?
Oh, yeah, we won another one as well, the Snapdragon one. Yeah, we won 3 trophies. Don't forget, gents. 3 trophies. Johnny,
that's what we need to ask for, and that's where I think we are going forward. We are still in pre-season right now, so those 2 weeks probably could have
forget about Grimsby penalty shootout on the equal. It's all about beating Fiorentina in the Snapdragon.
Yes,
Old Trafford. Now being ready for City, and that's the big thing about the 2 weeks. All these games, and we're not that far off the top of the league. We're 3 points off the top of the league.
It's nuts, isn't it? Not anyone, by the way, Johnny, can say they're the Snapdragon champions.
The thing will be maximum 2 or 3 points off Arsenal after Liverpool and Arsenal after tomorrow's game. So
Liverpool and Arsenal, they're tomorrow. You could get a draw out of that game, or
that's what I mean. So
one of them's going to drop points. City got Palace, haven't they? Or I don't know if City got
Brighton away.
City got Brighton away tomorrow. That's not an easy game. City aren't playing well. either.
no, Tottenham dropped points today, didn't they?
Tottenham dropped points today, so they're on 6
Chelsea
points.
were handed a win by the FA, so I don't know what went on there. But Sunderland came back, beat Brentford. We were talking about on our show whether Brentford would be likely to go down. Spurs losing to Bournemouth was almost comical, the goal.
Yeah.
Everton beating Wolves 3-2.
That was a good win for them
today. Yeah, it's a good win for
Everton. And Everton looked dangerous. Jack Grealish, by the way, can we just give Jack Grealish a round of applause, because that's what I'm talking about. Kobe Mainoo.
He was immense today.
I'm gonna go and play football somewhere.
Jack Grealish,
3 assists in 2 games.
Yeah, Jack Grealish today, everybody, was immense.
I can't believe him saying he got 2 assists in that game. Today's game as well.
He got 2 assists. I would have pulled his ponytail, mind you, but apart from that, he was immense today. Everton looked a solid outfit.
Big result. Newcastle 0-0 with Leeds.
0-0 with Leeds. Yeah, 0-0 with Leeds.
That's a big result for us because it's Newcastle dropping points.
Yeah.
Spurs dropping points, and then, like you say, tomorrow, Brighton City. Brighton are a thorn in the side of City as well. They've got some wins against them. I don't see that happening.
We could
Forest,
be
West Ham, and Liverpool, Arsenal. Which, if that's a draw, which is on the cards.
Funnily enough, when we go to the international break, which we are now, we'll come back in a decent position. It's crazy, isn't it?
Well,
okay, if you could just sum up your thoughts, then, pal. I'm going to have to wrap up the show because I've got to get going.
So just relief that we got our first win. It's been waiting a while, so it's good that we got that first win. Well, hopefully it'll boost us to go on a run, and we'll look back at it as the Mark Robbins moment, but it's too early to say whether that will happen. As for City, yes, we don't have a team. Many of our players are not on international break. It's Rúben Amorim's job to make sure we're ready for that City game, ready to go, so that we can start off on the front foot. It is a place that, in recent times against City, we have had the upper hand in derbies. So it's just, so you got to look at that. It is a place we won at last season. Typically, we don't start well after international breaks. So this is a big test that very few of our players are on international break. Make sure you're ready for that City game. You watched them at home to Tottenham last week. They weren't very good. If we play a similar way to that, we could get a result there. So it's weird that we play well against Arsenal, lose, we struggle against Burnley, we get the win. We're very Jekyll and Hyde side. You don't know what to expect. But in his time since he came in, Amorim, we have tended to do well against the big team. So for me, it might be a narrow loss, it might be a narrow win, it might be a draw, but just make sure we're ready and make sure we get at least a point at the Etihad. So make sure we're ready for that. So,
Totally agree. And as for the United Strand guy, he's only got 4 to go. Just 4. That's all he's got. He'll be praying tonight. He's got 2 weeks off. He'll be praying that we can get beat City. He's only got 3 to go. So
if we beat them, we'll be above them.
Exactly. Well, we're above them now.
We do well against the top 4. We've done well for the last 3 years, at least, against the top 4 teams. Because our weak mentality players seem to be able to pick their game up against the big teams.
I look at the next 2 league games, City, Chelsea, get 4 points from them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what I will say is, as a manager, I would be loving the fact that how the stars are aligning. Forget the injuries, right? We can't have that. That's a pain in the arse. But I've now got 2 weeks to work on that formation with most of my players going into that City game, and why City have got their entire team away on international duty.
Exactly.
They could get knocks. They could come back. They could, tired. We've always been bad at coming back, as you said, from international. Because we always used to have international players that were tired.
Yes. No.
That's international quality players who aren't going on international duty.
It's crazy.
The stars are aligning. And right now, I had already written off a loss to Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Chelsea before the season started, because top 4 and we're 15th. Are we beaten then? Probably not. So we're not far off from that being the start a lot of people would have predicted. We're down 2 points.
I think we're just down 2
points.
points.
One draw and you're basically back where you want to be. I know that's not 2 points if anyone comes out.
I think we'll get a result at City. will start to kick on nicely. And that's how
City
we're
are
going
weak
to do
at
it.
the back. They are weak at the back. But we are horrendous at the back as well.
I watched them speaking in America. City got knocked out at World Cup, the World Cup in Orlando at Camping World Stadium. I watched that game, and my gosh, defensively, you can get back at their fullbacks, absolutely. So that's something we need to work on. So yeah,
no, I think we'll get at them. Ladies and gentlemen, apologies, but we are going to have to wrap the show up. I'm going to go and pick my lad up. So, Mark, been great to have you back. You'll be with us on Monday night for the Jarvis Corner. Johnny K, as always, absolutely brilliant. Loads in your chat. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. And Jarvis will be well chuffed when he comes out from his alcohol-induced coma. I'm sure he's fine. Big up to Catherine No Nonsense McDade, Mark Nurse, Boxing Straight Talk, AZ, Agile Beast, John Edmund, Naz, of course, Stephanie Griffiths, crikey, loads of you in the chat. Jules is in. Jules, we're just wrapping up, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Can I just briefly mention, Stu, I want to big up Man United's women's team had guaranteed themselves European football.
Oh, we did,
didn't we? Yeah. So it was we have one final knockout round, see if we get into the Champions League proper. But even if we lose that game, whoever the opponents are, we're guaranteed at least a Europa Cup spot. So well done to women. We can look forward to some European football this season. So
it's about time. It's about time.
Yeah.
So we will be back at 9 o'clock on Monday. Jarvis will be back from his break.
With all the video clips, probably.
With all the video clips. So we'll be kind of back to normal. So we'll do a full breakdown of the game on Monday. And it'll be, it'll be one of those. So we are going to say goodbye. I'm going to play the outro, and we will see you on Monday night. Take care, everybody. Thank you.